The screen on this is totally customizable for each ranch. Again, you can capture as much or as little information as you want. It comes with a basic template, but it can all be changed. It's up there. So you can see we're listing, you know, maybe the sire it was out of. If we have to treat something today, we can choose what, if I go over here, which product. And I'm not prone to any company, but you can put in any product you want, okay? You work with your veterinarian, you can list those products. That's the whole point. It will actually figure out what I've got in there. There's a, it's preset. We're going to assume we're going to give Ivomec to each of these cows today. It'll tell us precisely how much Poron to use. It'll tell you how much Draxxin to use, or whatever product you're using. You pay $1,200 a bottle for something, you can pay a scale off pretty quickly by properly dosing your feeder calves. Only treating for what you need to. And you're not shorting them anyways. You'll get better results if you treat for proper weights. You can condition score cows. You can put in the dam, the sire, things like that, different breeds. So as much information as you want to capture, we can do that at chute side, or as little, because we can add it after in an Excel spreadsheet format, okay? So as the cows walk in, you're going to notice, you know, the weight's going to start to display. It's the same as if I stepped on the side, you know, it right away it starts taking a weight. You can set it to automatically capture a weight as soon as the weight stabilizes, so it can be very fast. But if we're waiting for the veterinarian to preg check or something like that, it doesn't take much time to press the red record button that's on the screen. So I'll just move this first cow in. It's easier if all of your tags are on the same side of the ear, or side of the head, I should say. Come on, babe. So then we can scan the tag, and it's going to pull up her information. Gained 20 pounds since the last time she was weighed. Press our record button, and she can move out the front. So again, it brings up her other information. It tells us in the bottom there 64 cc's of Ivomec.
If you're doing multiple injections, can you set to do that?
Yes, definitely. We can set it for multiple procedures. All we need is for you to tell it which procedures you want to do that day. And you can, if everything's going to get the same pre-breeding vaccine or Poron, you can set it to repeat, so every cow will get the same treatment. Or you can set it so that I can choose out of a list what we did if you handled them differently that day. The beauty of the wand is when she's moving her head, you can actually move it with her. If we had a panel right here, if she came in with her head underneath it, the panel would miss it. Like, they can do a lot out this way, directly out from where the panel is. If there's a large bull that had his head up high, you'd miss that too. So then the panels are nice and they're fast, but you need to start arranging them for the same type of cattle. If you only have feeder calves, perfect. If you only feed cull cows, that's great. Little calves, but there are limitations to the panel. We have a nice panel that it self-tunes itself, so if electric fans come on or hydraulic motors, that all affects the readability of other panels. Ours will self-tune. The big cup. Yeah. So if you just look at that weight, 795 pounds, right? So she's not a huge cow, really deep cow. But when you start looking at time breeding heifers based on 65 or 67% of mature cow weight to get better first time AI results, that's been proven and proven and proven, you gotta know what your cows weigh. Because how do you know what 67% of what is, right? So it's the more knowledge you have, the more you can start to do with that. There's the rebate programs that are in effect right now will cover the cost of the readers, cover the cost of the software programs, and they cover the cost of the scale heads. Well, those are the three expensive parts of this whole thing, right? So when you get 70% of that money back, it starts to become fairly economical if you use those numbers to help your operation. So a lot of people will say, you know, they come up to my booth at Agribition or different trade shows and they say, well, I guess I need to buy a reader. For what? You know, if they don't have a plan for this, if you're not going to use this, don't buy the reader because it's just money out of your pocket. But it's an easy way to eliminate paperwork and a faster way to make use of some other programs that maybe you're paying for and not getting the most out of either. So appreciate your time. I know I skipped over a few things, but
what's the minimum temperature that these will work in?
we preg checked cows last December 27th. It was probably 35 below. The screen will slow down. Like it's a liquid crystal display, right? It's going to slow down a bit. We worked as long as the vet worked. So built for cold conditions. I wouldn't leave it outside 30 below all night, and then, you know, you probably have to warm it up to get going in the morning. But
will your older screens still work?
oh yes, yeah,
I have an older one.
yeah. It's they're pretty rugged that way. We were finding we were scanning an animal. It was going across to the screen. We could hear it go over there before we would see it come onto the screen like that. If you look up at the top, I use this as a demo tag. It will also warn you if you've treated that animal, you can't ship her until a certain date. So it flashes up on the screen, this cow can't be shipped. So on your verified beef side, your food quality, beef quality standards really helps with those procedures.
Can you set certain parameters in there for, like, if, say you wanted in that amount of time 100 pounds of gain and they didn't do it?
Yes.
Would flag that animal somewhere? Or?
What you can program it to do is say that we want to market this steer or heifer at 1,360 pounds. It will figure out based on what it's gaining, you've got 52 more days or 41 days. You could use that for the breeding scenario too. If they're going to be too fleshy on July 1st or whenever you're breeding, you can back them off a bit, slow them down. So you can use it to help projections and whatnot.
Okay, so I'm sold on what it does, and I'm actually looking for a product like this right now. What sets your products above some of the others like the TSI or?
It's not a touch screen.
Okay. So that, you think that's benefit? Does it, when I was looking at that one, you can use DVD software to upload to your computer. Do you have that as well?
We use,
Transfer instead of to my phone, I can take it to my computer where I keep my data.
yeah,
Can I do that?
or that jump drive.
Right.
And we do not sell software. We do not say this is,
You don't have the software with it.
you wouldn't have the software with it. Because we work so much with CattleMax, with herd tracks and bio companies like that, we get it out in a very easy, efficient form.
Right. And then you give it to somebody else and they do it.
Yep.
Right.
We capture it quickly and efficiently. Load bars, these ones, they're not as old. Paul would remember, there's some I found in Swift Current, probably from 1986, still going. Okay.
So you don't have a product for somebody like that wants to take a, like, it doesn't work as well as somebody who wants to take information themselves and manage it themselves. Like what you're saying is, you know, you work better with a company that.
No, we make it easier to, it just comes out in a spreadsheet.
Right.
And if you understand Excel, you can make your own definitely. So if you're not working with a program, even better.
Okay.
Capture the info here and use that on the farm in your Excel spreadsheet. Yep, very easy. So what we do with,
Here, can you turn on a light over there, Crystal?
sure. So to get information out, if you don't have the app, you don't want to use your phone, or if you don't want to use a cord, you know, it comes with a cord, you can actually put the jump drive in the bottom, and it automatically says, here's my list of files. Here's the different times I've handled the animals. What do you want to capture? And it'll just transfer it onto that for you. Okay? Once it's finished, you just pull that out, plug it into your computer, and it spits it out as a CSV spreadsheet. You can save it as Excel, or you can work with it in that. Yeah, very basic. All I was saying is, this gives you the chance to start up a very in-depth program for yourself, but if you're paying out money for a company to give you those similar answers, go with a more basic scale system. All of them spread out into an Excel spreadsheet, and they're all easy to get information out of. That's the main thing, because if it's not easy, we won't use it. Now more than ever, I think. People have less patience, I think, and they want it easy, they want it simple, so we've tried very hard to make that happen. So if you have two IDs for that cow, like if this is her EID number and then she was visual 363X or something, if she lost this one, you can type in the other one and it will say, it used to be this cow, and we can change it. Because we don't want to lose past data. That's the whole point. We want to keep that animal in the system regardless of what tag brings us back to all of that.
So is that product, or do you have a product that can do a group of cattle as well at the same time, you know what I mean? So instead of just doing one, if you got
No. It's all based on individual animal records.
So I think I saw one that does both.
Maybe. They're working, Alberta's working on an ultra high frequency wand.
Right.
I still challenge people into, if you waved a wand across this room and there's 78 cows here, okay. What did you do to them that day? Why did you treat that cow? How far along is that one? Why did that one wean such a small calf? Like, we're still trying to identify those, that one animal you spoke of, the bottom 5%. Some people were talking at Agribition about drones, and then I can check my cows that way. It's like a garden. Your garden grows best if you look at it each day, and you know, it is what it is, right? So, if you don't want to, if you just want to be a grain guy, that's great. Then fly your drone around and look for weeds. But I think cattle are slightly different, and genotypic selection is good. We still need to look at them. Phenotype is
Need that phenotypic.
exactly. You have to tie it in. So, but again, it's just an example of what could happen. We've got a very basic. The more basic scale head is about $1,600. And the one that doesn't do anything is about $900. So,
One that just has the readout.
Yep,
you have to take
just the
right
screen.
off the paper. Okay.
and until we had all of these government rebate programs, that one was quite popular. We can get this one for $50 more than the most basic one. Everyone, and I'm not just saying that, they just go to this because there's a lot of money being kicked back into the procedure. So, thank you for your time, and I'll be around for a little while
Yes.
for more questions.
Okay.
If you'd like.
Right, so that.